All right, so let's see if we can finish our foldable that we started in class today, all about galaxies. So if you notice, this is a picture of our galaxy, which is called the Milky Way galaxy, and it happens to be a spiral type galaxy. You can always tell it's a spiral because they have what we call these arms that are formed from when the galaxy is spinning. Spiral galaxies are actually rotating, causing this very defined shape because every spiral galaxy has a black hole in the center. Notice this red dot represents where we are. We are actually on the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. Most people tend to think that we're in the very center, but like I just said, there's a black hole in the center. So if our Milky Way was the size of a dime, the next closest spiral galaxy would be about half a meter away, and the universe would expand in all directions for about 2 kilometers. So what is a galaxy? You need to write the answer to these questions at the very top, that very small flap that we made in class. Well, the definition of a galaxy is gas, dust, and billions of stars that gather together in some kind of shape. So a galaxy is made up of billions and billions of stars, but it also has to have gas and dust, which we know is called a nebula. How many galaxies are in how many stars are in our galaxy, the Milky Way? Around 200 billion or more in the Milky Way galaxy. And our galaxy isn't relatively big compared to some. How many galaxies are in the universe? Well, billions and billions of galaxies. We don't truly know a definitive answer to this because we have never observed the entire universe. It is infinite. And the last one, what kind of galaxy do we live in? We live in a spiral galaxy. So copy all of these answers down where we wrote the questions. So let's talk about a spiral galaxy. Here's a better picture of the Milky Way. Notice that it does have these arms, and again, here is the sun on the Orion arm. Notice all the light that is very dense in the center because of the stellar black hole. And you can see all the clouds of nebula of the gas and dust. Well, here's your description. Remember, put the description on the front next to the picture. The description of a spiral galaxy is a pinwheel-shaped, hurricane, whirlpool-looking galaxy. Pretty much where it's showing motion of its spinning. How much nebula is located in spiral galaxies? We have a lot in some places, but other places not so much. So if you notice in ours, you can tell that we have a lot of nebula around here in the arms, but in the dense center, there's not that much. How old are the stars generally in a spiral galaxy? We have some old and some new stars. So how big is the average galaxy? It is medium size. So we are not the largest, but we're not the smallest. Elliptical. Elliptical is kind of like an egg-shaped or an oval. And they kind of look like a squashed ball or an egg. Now, if you look at this, I want you to compare it to the spiral one from the picture before. Would you say that there is a lot of gas and dust or very little? And it looks just like one big bright spot because there is actually very little nebula in the elliptical galaxy because the stars are extremely old. And we know that stars are created in the nebula and they can live for billions of years. So many stars are clustered together that they have run out of nebula until the stars start to die off and put the nebula back into the galaxy. And how big is the average galaxy? They are huge. Elliptical are known to be the oldest and the largest of all three types of galaxies, hence because of their lack of nebula. And then the last one is irregular. Remember, this is the group that does not have a defined shape. So pretty much if any galaxy is not spiral or elliptical, we will classify it as irregular. So no defined shape. How much gas or dust? Well, look at this picture. You can tell that irregulars tend to have more nebula than any other galaxy. And the reason they have a lot of nebula is because they have mostly new stars. So in irregular galaxies, they have a lot more nebula and fewer stars. And as a galaxy gets older to spiral, it's medium, and then all the way to elliptical, where it has more stars than nebula. Notice, as a galaxy gets older, the nebula decreases, the number of stars increases, and the shape gets a lot more defined. So how big is the average galaxy? They are small. All right, so here's some pictures of an elliptical, a spiral, a regular. So how far is the closest galaxy to us? The closest galaxy to us is Andromeda, which is 2 million light years away, and it can be seen using ultraviolet light in the electromagnetic spectrum. There are also 2 dwarf galaxies, which again, dwarf means little, that are orbiting around our galaxy, which are around 160 to 210 light years away. So on the back of your, or on the next page, whatever you want to do, I want you to draw a Venn diagram with 3 circles showing them intersecting for the 3 galaxies. Tomorrow in class when you come, we're going to do a card sort using this diagram. So please try to make your circles nice and neat. See you tomorrow.